VR technology. It's still not the mainstream. What does it take for VR to go mainstream? That's the topic we're going to talk about today. I will analyze what I think is most important and how VR could possibly achieve that, and maybe about timeline. Before we dive in, if you would like to receive more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, so VR is a thing that's I believe it's the future, but it's still very in a very early stage, and some people say that's hype. There's so many hypes about VR. I agree there are some hypes. After I really dig into VR, I do see its potential, and it actually deliver a lot of its promises already. But still, we are seeing in very few users for VR. Most of them are still early adapters, heavy. I mean, it's not heavy gamers, like early adapter gamers. Most of them are like that. You still won't see the general public, the average person using VR. So that's the thing. That can be broken down to many reasons. But I think the most thing the VR now is some people think the technology of VR is just not ready yet. But I think VR technology it's ready. It's ready. Its resolution and the frame rate are just high enough, and won't make most people, average person's brain, kind of a dizzy. So I think that's good enough. But what a problem they VR really have now, and it really need to overcome to go mainstream, is a more innovative way of games and applications. Because now most VR games are just just a switch from the PC content. The way that people do gaming in VR are pretty much similar, pretty much the same as how they do on PC games. But VR has so many different dimensions. For example, hand tracking and body movement and spatial chat, which will adjust your voice volume according to your distance between each other. So that's a lot of new thing that old technology couldn't do. And also, not to mention, VR can provide you a totally immersed environment, very realistic 3D modeling. So they, based on this kind of different features, developers can really build a lot of very different looking games on VR. But now, because of the user base is not big enough, there's really no incentives for them to build VR specific games. Most of them they tend to build PC game first, then adapt that to the VR version. So that's why a lot of VR games is pretty much similar to PC games, while VR can actually do a lot of more innovative ways of gaming. So I think that's one thing that VR really need to overcome, really innovate. I see a lot of potential, but they don't really focus on that. I understand, because even like imagine Cyberpunk, they spend $300 million to build Cyberpunk, and if there's a company they want to spend maybe $10 million to build VR app, will that be worthy for them? Most likely not, because you won't really be paid off. There's not enough users to buy to buy your games. Even you just invest 10 million, maybe that's still not worth it. So I think that's a point. So most people they build PC game first, then adapt to VR game. And how to overcome this problem? There's another layer which a little bit like chicken and egg problem. If we can have more and more users now, larger user base, developers will start to invest more money on VR games. And also, same goes to the application apps. there can be more social apps, maybe social network on VR. Now we have VR chat, but it's just not enough. It's like the application from 5 years ago. I believe there will be more and more interesting ways of using VR, leveraging VR technology. Just think about it. The Facebook is from the internet era, and Instagram was built on top of mobile phone, and TikTok also built on top of a mobile phone. There are new kind of social media when the technology involved, where there's a next gen technology, and VR is a next gen technology. There will be a lot more different format of social medias. They can be leveraged on VR in the VR world. So that's one thing. And another thing is also productivity. So far, because really not enough, there's really not enough users using VR. So there's actually not much point to build a productivity app on VR because you won't get paid off. So the everything that I'm talking about comes down to the VR user base. You may ask, oh, it's a chicken and egg problem because if we don't have good enough VR apps, why people will start using VR, right? But actually, I will tell you one good news. The VR user base is very increasing very steadily. It's not like a viral growth, but it's really increasing steadily. Maybe later I will make a videos about this. I will show you more data about VR users growth, and I believe now even the growth is a little bit slowly. It's like more like linear. It's very like maybe 10%, 20% a year, 20% a year. That's actually a lot, but the user base now is very small. But maybe after a few years, 3-5 years, there will be enough users. The user base will kind of increases over the threshold, over the thresholds, so that many developers will get incentivized to do more VR games and VR apps. So I believe after that point, there will be a really aha moment for VR. And how can we reach that point faster? I believe the Oculus Quest series is very important things because Facebook really lower down the prices of VR headsets that made more people will be able to spend. Because if you are not the early adopter, you are not really a tech enthusiast, you won't really want to spend $1,000 to buy a VR headset. So that's why Oculus Quest gets useful, because it's like you can buy it with $300, which is acceptable for most of average consumers in the North America, right? So that will be one great thing. And how can VR to grow its user base? It's actually, I think, the market now. So far, the most users of VR, at least Oculus Quest, or actually most of VR, are from North America. So I believe VR can go beyond, and the key point for this is Asia market. There are so many people in Asia. VR really have to acquire more Asia users to pass the threshold of incentives, so that more people will, more developers will want to develop VR apps and games. So that's all I want to share with you today. And what do you think? What do you think about it? If you have any thoughts and comments, leave it in the comment section below. I really want to hear about it. And other than that, we're going to have 2021, and Happy New Year's, and I will see you next year.